All right, we're in front of the Loft Artists Association in downtown Stamford. We're going to meet with our friend Susan Carson. Most of you know her as a musician, as a singer, but some of you, only some of you, know her as a painter. So we're going to go check her out, check out her new space, and see what she's been up to for the last couple months. Hello, Miss Carson. How are you?
Good.
Good. I'm just going to throw my mask on if that's okay with you.
All right, how's it going?
I'm doing all right, hanging in there. How you been?
Been good. Just
right.
Painting away today.
Cool. How long you been here?
I started in here January of 2020.
Oh, cool.
And It was a great few months. I had my first couple of art shows with the big reception and the wine and cheese and all that. It was a great time. And then COVID hit, so we've been kind of quiet since then. But
so here's the million-dollar question. You know, obviously we know you as a musician. Most people that at least let's put it this way: the first time I met you, it was as a musician. I didn't even know you were an artist.
I consider myself a musician and a visual artist.
Okay.
I paint and draw. I'm probably best at singing and then next best is drawing and then painting. But I like them in reverse order. I like painting the most and then drawing and then singing.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to develop.
Which were you first?
Gosh, I don't know. You know, we all kind of start out singing and drawing as kids, so I think I've just always done them both.
Okay.
I started taking private art lessons from a really young age, but then I've been singing out in bands and at bars and venues since like the mid-'80s.
Wow.
So been doing both for a long time.
How did you go from casually sort of drawing some stuff to all of this?
Well, I started just kind of filling up sketchbooks, and then when Facebook started to get popular, I started just posting things on Facebook, like, you know, kind of like, look at my drawing that I did today, just as a way of kind of keeping myself accountable for practice. And I just started to enjoy it more and more, and I was getting better responses. And then people started reaching out and asking me for commissions, or they would say, hey, I love that, can I buy that from you?
Oh, wow.
And
how long ago did you sell your first piece?
I sold a few pieces here and there, back as far back as like probably early 90s, but not consistently. I started really selling more enough that I would start tracking it, like around probably two, 3 years ago.
Okay.
And it has escalated. Now it kind of peaked in January and February of this year.
Okay.
And then kind of died off with COVID and everything.
Sure.
You know, and not everybody's in a situation right now where they can afford to just buy art to put on their walls.
Right.
I do abstract and expressionist. I guess I would call it representative abstract, in that you kind of know what I'm painting. Like you can tell that's a guitar, or that's a runner, or that's a musician of some sort. But I don't really specifically do that person unless it's a commission. I do a lot of family portraits and specific, you know, can you do a picture of my boyfriend playing his guitar, that kind of thing.
Sure.
But I tend to do more impressionist, expressionist, representational abstract.
And thematically, you obviously naturally gravitate towards musicians and or musical instruments. What are some of your other themes that you explore?
Well, I started out focusing on just musicians because that's my primary love. But I tend to want to draw and paint what I like to do. So I paint the things I know. A lot of guitar players, a lot of musicians playing out at open mics. I do a lot of like runners. I used to do a lot of bodybuilders. Occasionally I try flowers, but that kind of thing is more like color practice for me.
Sure.
But I mostly like to do athletes and musicians.
Wow. So currently you're part of Me and D. That's your primary project. I know you play with some others as well, but tell me a little bit about Me and D, and is it easier for you to get gigs because you're a duo? I mean, speak to that a little bit. As
a duo, we're getting a lot of gigs, especially during COVID times with venues only being able to take smaller groups and be outside, and our scheduling is really flexible in that there's only two of us. Right. We don't need a lot of stage space. Right. and because we have so many songs and we have such a wide variety of music, we can kind of cater to whatever crowd is in front of us.
Wow.
So we both play guitar. David also plays the cajon
Right.
and does percussion, and then we both sing.
Yep.
So we have some harmonies and we work well together. We've been playing together since about 2004.
Wow.
In various configurations, sometimes with him on guitar and me doing backup, sometimes with me on guitar and him playing drums, different things. But as a duo right now, it's really working well because of the culture the way it is right now, and because it's just so easy. Now it's just only two people to work out schedules with is great.
So I'm looking over here at this wall, and there's just so many awesome pieces right here. And I mean, do you want to sort of take us through some of these?
Sure. It's kind of a mix of people that I've gone to see and people that I've seen locally in clubs. Like if you want to go, I actually don't know the man's name, but I saw this guy playing over at Bobby Q's for one of Ed Train's things. You might know who he is. I just took a picture of him. I just thought he looked so cool in his jacket. Wow. And he kind of had that smoky lounge kind of look, and so I just wanted to do sort of a bold painting. And then over here I've written the words "Please You," and I have some other symbolism in here. And what this painting is about is that feeling when you're the musician and you're just, you're getting ready to start this next song, and you're really hoping for some good crowd response. You're just hoping that this is going to please the audience and that they're going to love the song. And it's a very vulnerable moment.
Now I noticed that you've got various sizes here. So typically what size do you like to paint, and how do you determine whether something is going to be small or something's going to be larger, etc.?
Well, it kind of comes like when I'm working at home, I like to play with the 10 by 10 size because it's easy to work with on my kitchen counter. This size I would usually charge about $250 for something like this if it's a commission, or really either way. I think this was done off of a commission that I did for somebody, and then I did a duplicate one in different colors for myself and did it more abstract. But that's like $250. So like this is, I think this is 24 by 28, and something like that. I usually price it like between $400 and $500, depending on how detailed I go.
All right. So, mind if we have a look around? Yeah.
Let's go look.
Cool. Let's walk around the loft.
And go in the front gallery here.
Okay, sure.
It's called the Phillips Gallery in the front. There's some big donors and supporters. So
great room. Love this room.
And this is our current show that's up right now. It's called Sprung from Cages, and it's all artwork that the artists that are members here have completed during this sort of quarantine time. This wall and this wall over here are mine. So during all of the shutdown and during when I was at home with COVID, I just would sit on my sofa with my little sketchbook and my pens. And
this is great.
Just I made myself a list of 50 things I was going to sketch with a pen, and I think I made 10.
Well, hey, but at least you had a list.
It's good to have goals.
Well, this has been great. Thanks for showing us around.
Thanks for coming anytime.
This is, I knew there was a very prominent non-musical side of you.
This is my quiet side.
This is your quiet side, which is awesome. So thanks for inviting us in. All right, so that's our interview with Susan Carson. If you're interested in contacting Susan, check her out on Facebook or her website. I'm sure she'll be happy to hear from you. Back to you.